Well, I would say good morning, zombies. Those who are emotionally screwed up and sleep deprived like the rest of us. It's still the 15th of May, 2023, and it is 6:49 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. The Weaver, John C. of Rosamond, California, who's barely alive, barely awake, and not even realizing he's still here. What's going on, guys? Yeah, okay, wait. This is the channel of the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which would be me. Okay, enough of that one. Politics again this morning. Yesterday, I was trying to avoid anything and everything that was a trigger. This morning, it's back to usual with the politics of people going after each other. And someone had to react over to Trump's Mother Day wishes about attacking people left and right. But happy Mother's Day to those people I'm attacking at this point. Yeah. MSNBC Morning Joe, they got Pence on the microscope. We can't figure this guy out. What the hell is he? I don't know. He can't say yay or nay. He's wishy-washy. He's not dynamic. He's just there. Something about the guy is shifty. I don't know about him. But the media pundits are going after each other left and right. Meanwhile, on social media, they're still trying to nitpick on anybody and everybody else. Concerning about a certain gentleman who's in recovery out there back east. Yeah, I had to research it about that Mother's Day gift that Trump bestowed upon everybody on his website of the bullshit. Yeah, I pay no heed. Tries to get his digs in, try to get the reactions in. He's really not that much of a mosquito to scratch at. Unless, of course, he's going to make himself a biggest pain in the butt or pain in the arm as he's trying to suck the living life out of everybody and turn them into Trumplican zombies. Crazy enough, anyway. And I heard that there was a lawsuit going on from the families who had lost people last year in a supermarket shooting because one lunatic goes in there with more guns, and just shoots up place and kills people and wounds people. And I think in the process, either he survived or I gotta go back over that story again. But apparently, the guy was raised theoretically normal, what normal is these days. But with social media, it was like brainwashing the guy. So the parents got to blame something. They're trying to get some kind of justification for all of this damn insanity. So they go out to social media. I'm not going to be able to say this all the time, but I'm going to be probably saying it when I can. Good luck on that one. Social media is the electronic wild, wild west for everybody. Hasn't been controlled as much, except if you're in an authoritative country that can lock down access. But in a country like ours, it deals with, well, theoretical freedoms called the Bill of Rights. I said theoretical because people are still having an issue over it. Just check out some of the videos I've talked about regarding this one. But we are dealing with freedom of speech versus the safety of everybody. Is social media damaging to us? We want things controlled, but we want freedom. And as a certain political professor had told me a long time ago, you can't have absolute freedom if you've got absolute security in it. It just doesn't work. You have to give up something. So if we want the safety and security, the problem is we're going to have to be locked up. And I mean, not dealing with social media, but with whatever kind of platforms we have to get information about what's going on around us, or just open up the damn windows and look. People envisioned the internet a long time ago as an emergency equipment for the U.S. government to use and respond with until someone actually had the idea of making the internet more usable and more user friendly. Created bulletin boards, BBS as they call them, or BBBs, I guess. And in these chat rooms, they could do and say anything and swap and share files. Including those people who would love to get into computer systems just to see what the hell's going on. They were called hackers. They still are. But this is what we're living in. This is what we're dealing with right now. Give me a couple of seconds. I gotta adjust that damn air conditioner. Yeah, well, I had a... One of these here days, I gotta get this place cleaned out again. If you happen to see anything crawling around, any black things crawling around, that's usually the damn bugs. I know it's Monday. It's bug war today. Yes, the Orkin guy with his witty repartee, which is like, put me to sleep, please, Xanax. Guy means well, I think. But, yeah, every Monday now for the past several months, dealing with bug war. You talking about realities? You talking about reality checks? See, I don't deal with somebody else trying to say how I'm going to be reacting to one thing or another. I mean, this morning I was reacting to an old tune that was going through my head, and I had to figure it out. And when I did, oh my goodness, whew, that was bringing up old memories and old feelings. And you talk about nostalgia, flooding me out. Now, as I was trying to explain, I was also going through a lot of triggers left and right, a lot of them. And it was literally leaving me into, like, I just want to stay in bed and curl up, but the body still said, no, get up. The brain wanted to shut down, but the body says, move. So I had to keep moving a little bit. But I didn't say enough. But it was driving me crazy all morning and all day because Mother's Day was there, and it was the most emotional damn thing I had to go through. It's one of those anniversaries that I still have to survive and keep going through because I don't know what the next thing's going to be. I really don't know, and it's going to drive me nuts. I'm trying to deal, I'm trying to cope, I'm trying to function, and it's not all that damn easy. But when I get my head cleared enough and I'm actually able to talk about topics and try to stay on topics, then my mind's focused and I'm doing okay. And yesterday I wasn't even depending upon caffeine. I wasn't. If I was depending upon caffeine, man, was I going to be in for it? Yeah, I guess today's going to be DoorDash. No, it's just looking at the time. I'm like, great. I wasted a hell of a lot of time this morning. I didn't get much sleep last night either. I was tossing and turning even after my Mother's Day ended officially at midnight. So I couldn't get my body working at that point. But I'm still having issues. I'm still having issues because it's repercussions from all the crying, all the emotional outpouring, and all the depressional stages my brain was going through, depleting some of the necessary chemicals that my brain and body would be using for functionality. It was just the hardest damn thing for me to deal with. Still is. So what do I do now? I wake up in the morning and I try to function. My back Sometimes gives me shit, and other times it doesn't give me shit. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm more and more sensitive to death and things regarding it than I had been a long time ago. I used to wear the emotional moleskin when I was growing up, trying not to grieve as much. Sometimes I would, but I still had to focus on other things, and I had to be the big brave boy about things. Not exactly telling me that I had to be emotional. God, if I was emotional, I'd be considered a girl or a woman. No, I had to be big and strong and brave. Guys don't cry. Damn friggin' adages. Piss me off. I have to be this and I gotta be that. Screw that noise. But that's how things were. These days, we would have issues. We rarely would have issues regarding our emotions and how we're dealing with things these days, and people screaming about mental health issues. Shit, they should have been thinking about that a long time ago, but they hadn't been. So we deal with what is right now. And what is right now is functionality of sorts. Now, I have also been trying to understand the reports happening these days of what people have been going through, what they have been undergoing, and crazy. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Political news is on right now, and I seem to be having an issue with some of this stuff. Trump was supposed to have a rally this weekend. It got closed down, and Florida shark DeSantis goes out there and tries to get whatever nibbles he can. And then there are tornadoes out in the Midwest again. 6 states. Damn. So things are happening right now. Hang on a second. There's only so much of politics I can take this morning without my brain shutting down and saying that I need to go back to sleep or something. But yeah, it has been harsh. It has been harsh. I knew that the holiday season was going to come up and the anniversaries come up, that they're getting worse and worse for me. They're getting harder and harder for me to deal with. Well, Mother's Day was coming up, and I knew this about a month ahead of, a month ago. I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe there's some way to deal with this, cope with this. Try to find something positive to celebrate my mama one way or another, because she still loved Mother's Day. What I ended up doing yesterday was crying my eyeballs out most of the day and trying to sleep the whole damn day off. Instead of trying to clean up the place a little bit, straighten it up, I couldn't, because of Mother's Day. It was one of those kind of holidays. It was very special to my mother. My brother and I had skipped one, and we rued the day ever since. Also, when we skipped our mother's birthday also once. Again, we never lived it down. But after their passed, it's been 10 years since Ma died. It's been 5 years since David died. But I'm still dealing with the feelings of it. I'm still dealing with the memories of it. I'm still dealing with the rest of the shit. I'm still dealing with the after effects. I don't know if anybody else can deal with it or not. I mean, I've come across people on social media that claim that they've been dealing with death a lot longer than I have. Okay? Someone's been married to another spouse for a good long 40, 50, something like that. And that's a long time to be a spouse. And then to have them taken away. Yeah, that tears apart the guts right there. Then again, I got to consider the age bracket at that point. I kept thinking, okay, pretty surely it's going to be your turn, pal. I heard stories concerning about spouses dying after their partner had left. And they're basically looking forward to it. Some of them actually wanted to continue life, continue living, because they knew their spouses would be upstairs, they'd understand, but they still wanted more. Lucky for them. They had the desire, they had the gunness, they had the initiative. They wanted. Truth of the matter is, I've always been afraid. I've had to admit that to myself and have to admit that to others. I've been afraid of my life. Felt like I wasn't good enough for anything or anybody. I'm an ugly bastard. I'm an ugly bastard. Sometimes uglier in thoughts instead of body, but we both match each other. But at least I'm not out there trying to kill people or hurt people or cause any harm in any way, shape, or form, except maybe if I'm going to be doing political insults for other people left and right. That's a different story altogether. But we're talking about being a mean person all the damn time because you're in pain all the time. Case in point, you can mask the pain so much, but it does change a person. I know because it's changed me a great deal more than I realized, and when I started realizing it more and more, I'm like, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to get out of this one, boys and girls. There's no way in hell. Being locked up, physically, spiritually, emotionally, it does change a person. Yeah, I can see sometimes the sunrise, and sometimes it looks so damn beautiful, and other days I'm like, oh shit, not again. But what gets to me sometimes, if I actually have a better attitude or a better look, or if I happen to catch the sun in a certain way with clouds going in front of it, I'll actually catch some sun rays. I'm like, okay, camera, let's get a shot of this one real fast. And moments like that mean something. It's not the long-term stuff. It's the moments that we can actually grasp onto and remember like crazy that would either add a lot of joy to our lives or be a constant irritant, constant heartache, constant pain. It's constant because we put so much into it to remember and to know what it felt like and to know what things were special during those times. My brother's sitting here decades, years ago. He'd be on his phone all the time, searching through the internet, trying to keep his brain and himself busy. Sometimes he'd be able to cook, and other times I'd cook for him. Times we were living in a trailer home before this, before we moved into this lovely, charming place. We were living, and we were dealing and going to meetings left and right, and practically lived at the meeting halls at times because we had no other place to go, or we couldn't stay long in one place. We had to keep going. The thing is, call it running away from pain, running away from grief, running away from the things that was haunting and hurting us, despite the fact we may share in different support groups, but we were really running away from ourselves and not willing to go through the emotions, not willing to be torn apart, not willing to be blasted emotionally into pieces. Maybe I shouldn't have been a long time ago like that, but I had seen how emotionally tight my family was when it came down for mourning and grieving those that they loved and cared about. They had to keep a straight face, and they had to keep it together because they didn't want to lose it. They wanted to keep up what strength they had and keep fighting on. They had support in order to do that. I've been dealing with my own issues without support. Very little from the medical insurance if I happen to get an appointment with a therapist. But I've been dealing and coping with it on my own and in my own way. That it has been extremely difficult. Blaming to me doesn't solve the problem. It just only adds a lot more confusion and more insanity to the damn thing. That I'm not able to figure shit out if I'm going to be blaming everybody else and not know what the hell the answer is. And what can I do about it? And sometimes the answer is not a damn thing. Nothing. I can tear myself apart emotionally right now over things. I can freak out as much as I can. But it's not going to solve anything for me right now. Nothing. I feel this morning depressed still from yesterday, and the depression usually carries on for about a couple of days before it wears off. And on some occasions, I'm actually able to feel a little better. And other times, I'm just feeling like I got wiped out, and I'm still trying to recover from the damn shit. I'm more mouthier. I'm more grittier. I'm more insane because I'm looking at people in a different point of view and a perspective. This is not where I'm saying pity me, feel sorry for me because I'm feeling like this. No, I'm saying stay the fuck away from me right now because I'll be a pain in the ass to you, to put it bluntly. And I have to put it bluntly because if I'm not going to be putting it bluntly, how else am I going to be able to deal with this shit? I'm dealing with the grieving, I'm dealing with the depression, and you know what I get after that? I start posting all these damn little messages out here from people from different places. Come out and said, I'll be your friend. And I'm looking at their bios. I'm like, who the hell is this? What is this? Oh, great. It's another Photoshop shit. No, get away from me. Block City, left and right. I got these beautiful young twerps and twits and whatever the hell they call themselves these days. Young ladies? No, I don't think so. Images. I'm sorry, but PM me so we can be friends. I'm like, can we be friends? I'm like, no, we cannot. Black. Black, 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 black. I put warnings out there on Facebook. Do you think people listen? Fuck no. I'm not cleaning up the language either. I'm not good for advertisers. I'm not good for anybody else. I've got a mouth like crazy. And I was saying, I'm proud of my mouth at this point over here. No, this is how sometimes I talk on some occasions. Because I will let loose. I'm not apologizing for either. I am what I am. And I'm dealing with it. If nobody else likes it, how did I say? Meanwhile, I deal with my own damn day. I'll deal with my own survival at this point over here. If I have personal conversations with people, I keep the language down. I keep it pleasant as possible. But at times, oh, leave me the hell alone. I'll tear you apart. I will verbally accost you. I will verbally insult the living daylights out of you. I'll be worse than Donald Trump. I gotta laugh at that one. Yeah, it's funny. Because it's funny to me at the time and at the second. Right now, which is not funny, is I still got a kitchen I still got to clean up, and the Orkin guy's coming over in about an hour or two. About a couple of more hours, and I don't like this guy too much, but I'm surviving this asshole. Now, I can't say he's an asshole. Somewhere he seems to be a decent guy. So I got to make that correction on him. He's not exactly an asshole. I'm an asshole. And I got nothing else better to say. If I do, it's going to get me buried alive like the worm I am. And I'll be hearing someone in the background going, Stern! Oh, a little homage to the, what was it, the 1990s film? Heavy Metal. Liked the music on it, but man, there were certain skits on there that were funnier than hell. The pirate captain tries to show himself to be a good, decent human guy. I'm Captain Stern. Relax, I got an angle. Captain Stern, you've done all these damn things here. How do you plead? Not guilty. And the aliens in the space station are going, his offense attorney's going, will you plead already? We can cut this down somehow. Relax, I got an angle. Call out fist. Call out fist. So a meek, mild janitor comes through and plops himself down the witness. Relax, attorney. I got an angle. He's my angle. Captain Stern is nice, and he's done these things, and he's been that way. Of course, if you can, all these things he's been doing already. Christ, he's the nicest man you'll ever meet. Of course, he's been kicking your ass out of an airlock all the time. He's kind with children. Of course, if he could do something nasty with these kids at this point. I'm not about to say the old lines on here because it'll get me banned off of Google and YouTube. Except, no, lies. Hanging's too good for him. Burning him is too good. He had to be buried alive like the worm he is. Stern! And in the cartoon, the guy turns out from a meek, mild guy into the Incredible Hulk without the green. You had to watch the whole movie to understand what the hell was going on. But still. Maniac situations like that, they probably think I'm going through ADHD. Or maniac depression. Maybe. But there's a hell of a lot of things I've been going through these days. Besides the grieving portion. So maybe I'd graduate on one thing to another thing to another thing. But I just wanted to leave you with a little bit of a mania right now. Because I sure as hell don't like the alternative. Depressed as hell. And besides, the kitchen's calling for me. And I gotta clean the damn thing up. So later, guys.